Do I look beautiful? Would you like to eat me? You cannot because I am poisonous. The bright colored mushrooms are very poisonous. You can consume only the light colored and the pale colored mushrooms. Would you like to know more about fungi? Let's go to today's lesson and listen more.
Good morning, dear children. I'm very happy to meet you all back in the biology class. A good plan for today is better than the perfect plan for tomorrow. So, how do we achieve it? Plan it purposefully, prepare it prayerfully, proceed positively, and pursue persistently. If we follow all these four steps, yeah, we can do wonders, and whatever we plan, whatever we decide to achieve, we can achieve the goals. With that note, with that planning for today, let's go into this lesson. On the previous class, we were discussing about virus, bacteria, and other smaller microorganisms. Today's class, we are going to learn about fungi. So before we go to the largest aspect of fungi, let us learn some facts about fungi. Eukaryotic. Fungi is a eukaryotic organism. They do have nucleus, two nucleus. It was discovered by Alexander Fleming, who was also given awarded Nobel Prize for the discovery of fungi called penicillin. The study about fungi is known as mycology. Fungi is also a ubiquitous organism. You can find it everywhere, omnipresent organism. And they are heterotrophs. They cannot prepare their own food. They need to depend upon other organisms for their foods. So they are either saprophytic or parasitic. Fungi are unicellular or multicellular. Let's learn about the general features of fungi. So what are general features of fungi? Fungi body, the thallus is made of a structure called hyphae. Hyphae looks like a ribbon, a small layer or a thread or ribbon like structure. A thin filamentous structure. The cell wall is made up of chitin and fungal cellulose. Many hyphae form into mycelium. Okay, now sometimes this mycelium are cenocyte, sometimes they are septate. What is the meaning of septum? Septum means wall. Whenever the fungal layer as a wall, it's called septate. Example, fusarium. There are sometimes the fungal wall will be absent. It is known as cenocytic or aseptate. Example, albigue. The mycelium is nothing but the fungal tissues called plectenchyma. Now this plectenchyma is classified into prosenchyma and pseudoparenchyma. Prosenchyma, they are loosely packed structure, and pseudoparenchyma, it looks like a loosely packed structure. Both of them are fungal tissues. So what is the reproduction in fungi? Under sexual reproduction, they undergo plasmogamy, karyogamy, and they form spores through meiosis. What is plasmogamy? Fusion of plasma membrane. What is karyogamy? Fusion of nucleus. And they also form spores through meiosis. Fungi also undergo asexual reproduction. Anamorphic. Sometimes they are anamorphic, sometimes they are telomorphic, sometimes they are holomorph. What is anamorph? What if the fungi undergo asexual reproduction, they are known as anamorphic. If the fungi undergo sexual reproduction, they are known as telomorph. Suppose if the fungi undergo both types, sexual and asexual, they are known as holomorph. Let's look at the reproduction in fungi. As we know, as we just learned, fungi undergo both sexual and asexual type of reproduction. Let's look at the asexual reproduction first. First, they form into zoospores. Under asexual reproduction, fungi form structure called zoospores. Example, chytrids. Then fungi also undergo asexual reproduction by producing a spherical round structure called conidia. Example, penicillin. Fungi also undergo asexual reproduction by the process by forming structure called oidea. Okay, oidea or talospore. They form a small structure called oidea or talospore in the plant fungi called Ericipae. Fungi also can undergo reproduction called fission. Like binary in bacterial binary fission, fungi yeasts also undergo binary fission. Budding. What is budding? A small outgrowth. Especially Saccharomyces produce small outgrowth. This outgrowth later, bud-like structure, later this outgrowth fall from the mother plant and develops into a new fungi. Chlamydophore. Chlamydophore is also another type of asexual reproduction, as an oval or spherical structure formed in the fungi in the mycelium. Example, fusarium. Now these are some of the asexual reproduction seen in fungi. Let's look at the sexual reproduction. Before that, let us look at the pictures of images of the asexual reproduction. Now can you see the fission here? Here you can find the yeast undergo fission. The mother plant divides into two daughter fungi, and each develops into an individual. This is example for fission. The next one, yeah, you can see the budding here. Okay, here the yeast cell can find a small outgrowth. This outgrowth will detach from the mother. Later, each outgrowth develops into a new daughter cell. Okay, now this is a type of asexual reproduction called budding in yeast. Conidia. Okay, example, penicillin. Now here you can find small outgrowth, the conidial outgrowth here. Now this each conidium fall onto the ground, and later they can develop into a new daughter cell. Now this conidia you can find various structure. The conidiophore is the structure which pairs the conidia. Yeah, you can find this oidium, formation of oidium. The filamentous structure later break into smaller structure, form into oidium. And the other one is called chlamydophore. As I told you earlier, this oval or spherical structure called chlamydophore also formed in fungi to undergo the asexual, while undergoing asexual reproduction. Let's look at the sexual reproduction in fungi. Okay, first one is called planogametic copulation. Now what is planogametic copulation? A fusion of few gametes. Okay, there are three types: isogamy, anisogamy and oogamy. Now what is isogamy here? Isogamy is a fusion of two gametes. Both the gametes are morphologically and physiologically similar. Second one is called anisogamy. In anisogamy, both the gametes morphologically or physiologically dissimilar. Oogamy is a fusion of two gametes where both the gametes morphologically they are different, physiologically they are different. Okay, this is called planogametic copulation. The second one is called gametangel contact, where the two gametes get in contact with each other. So here during the sexual reproduction, the antheridium and oogonium fuse together and form into a structure called albugo in the gametangel contact. Okay, the third one is called gametangel copulation. What is produced here? So because of the fusion of the gametes, they form into a structure called, zygospore. The structure called zygospore. Okay, then later the zygospore are released and they develop into a new plant. Example, mucor, rhizophis.
The next one is spermatization. So what is happening in spermatization? Here, the uninucleate microconidium transferred to form the hyphal cell. Example, Puccinia. The last one is called somatogamy. Fusion of two somatic cells. Body cells form into come under process somatogamy. Example, agaricus. Let's look at some of the pictures or the images what we learned in the previous topic, the sexual reproduction in fungi. Here the first one is spermatization. Example here, neurospora. As I told you already, the microconidia is formed. Okay, conidia is formed. They develops into a new daughter cell. The next one, Gametangel copulation. Okay, where the two gametes are fused together. Antheridium and the oogonium are fused, and later they form into a structure called zygosporangium. They form into zygospore. This zygospore develops. Okay, this is the example for Gametangel copulation. Next one, Gametangel contact, where the antheridium and the oogonium get in contact with each other and form into a structure. Example, albigo. Here you can find the structure, mucor. Okay, now let's learn the classification of fungi. So how are the fungi classified? How many types are they classified? Here there are 4 classifications. First one is called Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, Deuteromycetes. The Phycomycetes further classified into Oomycetes, Chytidomycetes and Zygomycetes. What are we going to learn today's class? We're going to learn about Oomycetes, Zygomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes and Deuteromycetes. We're going to learn about 5 groups of fungi in brief. The first one, Oomycetes. Few facts about Oomycetes. Cell wall is made up of glucon or cellulose. They are cenocytic mycelium, absence of wall, aseptate. They also have flagellum with single tinsel. The zoospore with one whiplash is present, which help them in movement. Sexual reproduction by oogamous, example, albigo. The second group, Zygomycetes. It is branched, cenocytic mycelium, and they are saprophytes or parasites. They live on the dead and living organism, or they grow on the living organism. Sexual reproduction by fusion of gametangia. Example, mucor and rhizophus. Asexual reproduction by forming sporangia. Spores is nothing but sporangia. Let's look at the Ascomycetes now. It includes yeast, powdery mildews, cup fungi and morels. How does the sexual reproduction occur in Ascomycetes? Fusion of compatible nuclei. The 2 nuclei are compatible. They get fused and form into a zygote. They are sporophyte or parasitic. Mycelium with branch septum. They have mycelium, but they have a branch septum. They have a wall. The ascops are structures, spherical structure found inside a bag-like structure called ascus. The types of ascop, I'll show the picture later, the image. Types of ascops are Clistothecium, Perithecium, Apothecium and Pseudothecium. The asexual reproduction by fission, budding, conidia, oidea and chlamydophore. Clistothecium. Here you'll have the perithecium, where you have the ascus present in the closed structure. Okay. Apothecium, where it's opened. Okay. And there also you can find the ascus present. Steps involve the development of ascus. So how the single ascus developed into multi-ascus. These are a few steps involved the production of ascus. Let's go to the next one. Basidiomycetes, very colorful fungi. Really colorful, isn't it? So it includes puffballs, toadstool, bird's nest fungi, bracket fungi, etc. They are terrestrial, saprophytic and parasitic. They are well developed mycelium with dolly-spore septum. Special type of septum they have. Clamp-like, they have clamp-like connection. This clamp-like connection helps in the formation of dikaryotic condition. So each compatible clamp there are two nucleus. Asexual reproduction by conidia, oidea and budding. Sexual reproduction by somatogamy or plasmogamy. So somatogamy, fusion of body cell, plasmogamy, fusion of plasma cell. Look at the sexual reproduction here. Somatogamy or spermatization results in the plasmogamy. So once the fusion of two structure body cells, the results in the plasmogamy. Karyogamy. What is karyogamy? Fusion of two nucleus. Okay. Gamy takes place in the Basidiomycetes followed by the meiosis cell division. First, they undergo cell division. What kind of cell division? Meiosis. What is meiosis? Where do you find the meiosis cell division? In the gametic cells. After the meiosis, the two nucleus fuse together. 4 nuclei are formed to basidiospore outside the basidium, which is club-shaped. This club-shaped fungi is a fruit body of the basidiocarp. Next one is called Fungi imperfecti, also called Deuteromycetes. Because they lack in sexual reproduction, they are called imperfect fungi. Asexual reproduction by conidia, chlamydospore, budding and oidea. Conidia produce pycnidium, acerbilis, sporodochium as well as cinemata. Let's look at the economic importance, beneficial activities of fungi. We're going to learn very few. You can go through your textbook for more information. So fungi is used as food. Agaricus bisporus can be used as food, can be consumed. Also used in the produce organic acid, citric acid, itonic acid. Also used in the bakery in the production of baking the bread, the fluffiness of the bread, cake production. Saccharomyces cerevisiae is very useful in baking the bread. Fungi is also useful in the production of enzymes, amylase and protease. In the medicinal industry, penicillin is one of the wonder in the medicinal industry. Because of the discovery of penicillin only, Alexander Fleming received the Nobel Prize. Okay. And agriculture. Fungi is also used as a biopesticide. Now look at the disease caused by fungi. First in plants. In plants, blast of paddy caused by Mangonopothe grisae. White rust of crucifers caused by Albigo candida. Peach leaf curl caused by Taphrina deformans. Finally, rust of wheat caused by Puccinia graminis. Now the disease in man. Athlete's foot caused by Epidermophyton. Candidiasis caused by Candida albicans. Okay, Coccidioidomyxococcus caused by Coccidiosis immitis. Finally, aspergillosis caused by Aspergillus fumigatus. These are some of the disease caused by fungi in human. Children, that's all from today's class. We have learned entire history about fungi and even we have completed the lesson. Lesson number 1.
diversity of living organisms. We have discussed so many aspects. We started the lesson with the topic attributes of living organism. Later we moved to virus. Then we learned the classification. Then we moved to bacteria. Finally, the fungi. So we learned a lot of micro plants in this lesson, even the macro plants also. Hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Make sure you go through the lesson carefully. Watch the video, then write your test. Expecting everyone to write your test and submit the answers on time. Write your test only on your classwork. Okay, that's all from today's class. Goodbye and have a good day.